Several EU countries are pushing to use a forthcoming EU strategic deal to drop trade barriers with select North African and Middle Eastern countries.
US President Donald Trump says he hopes to meet with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un this year. Serbia's President Aleksandar Vučić tells Euronews his government remains committed to dialogue to end protests that have gripped the country.
Several EU countries are pushing to use a forthcoming EU strategic deal over the Mediterranean Sea to drop trade barriers with select North African and Middle Eastern countries. The deal relates to Algeria, Egypt, Israel, Jordan, Lebanon, Morocco, Libya, Palestine, Tunisia and Syria. It would see them align with the EU single market rules, a European Commission document seen by Euronews said. It's not the first time Brussels has sought to strengthen trade in the Mediterranean region. A 1995 pact aimed to create the Euro-Mediterranean Free Trade Area, but never materialized. The document indicates member states are looking to go further to strengthen trade links with the region. The move comes as the EU is looking to diversify its trade ties amid instability in its trade relations with the US.
US President Donald Trump says he would like to meet with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un as soon as this year. Trump made the remark on Monday during a meeting with South Korea's new president, Lee Jae-myung. Lee encouraged Trump to continue to help with Korean peace efforts and even proposed the idea of a Trump Tower in Pyongyang.
만들어주셔서 김정은과도 만나시고 북한에 트럼프 월드도 하나 지어서 거기서 저도 골프도 칠 수 있게 해주시고 그래서 전 세계가 인정하는 정말 세계사적인 평화의 메이커로서의 역할을 꼭 해주시기를 기대합니다.
Well, thank you very much. It's an honor to be with you. I will say that Kim Jong-un and I had a very good relationship, as you remember, and still do. And we'll have talks. He'd like to meet with me. He didn't want to meet with Biden because he had no respect for Biden. But we look forward to meeting with him, and we'll make relations better.
Before he met with Lee, Trump took to social media on Monday and threatened not to do business with Seoul because of a, quote, purge or revolution that he claimed was taking place in the country. However, any tensions between the two quickly disappeared after Lee showered the U.S. president with praise.
In an exclusive interview with Euronews on Monday, Serbian President Aleksandar Vučić stressed that his government remains committed to dialogue to end protests that have gripped the country.
This was not my first call. Actually, it was my, fifth or sixth call for a dialogue, for an open conversation. But what was the difference this time? I offered something that I saw because they reacted swiftly, but in a way nervously. I don't know why. I offered them even an open TV debate. They can pick the premise. They can pick the studio. I'll be able to go wherever they say. People are going more and more against protesters. People are fed up with blockades. People are fed up with violence. That was happening in particular in the recent weeks.
The protesters are now calling for a snap election. Is there going to be one? Is this something that you think could move things forwards?
We wanted to fulfill all their requirements, all their requests, all their demands. And I was referring to them, saying, okay, we are doing it, we are doing that, we did that. Are you happy with that? They were saying, no, we continue with this. Now this is bigger than us, bigger than you. Okay. I said then, okay, you want to go for a referendum against myself? I'm ready to go within 2 days. They were saying, no, that's a treason, that's a betrayal. If someone accepts it, we don't go, we are not politicians, we don't need politics. After that, I was offering elections. They were also saying the same. After 6 months.
Vučić also asserted that Serbia's path to full European Union membership remains his top priority, despite criticism over Belgrade remaining on cordial terms with Moscow and seeking partnership with the likes of Beijing.
All our obligations regarding till I leave the place, Serbia will remain very firmly on EU path, committed and dedicated to that path, conducting and implementing necessary reforms. But there are some other things that we can do together, which is unique market, which is region without real frontiers, without real borders, without any obstacles for trading or flowing capital, people, whatever. This is something that we need to accomplish before we get closer to EU. There are a lot of stuff to be done for us, and I'm very much aware of that.
You've said that you've no doubts it has a European future.
Yes.
Can I ask you to give a direct message, one to the Serbian people and one to the European audiences? You know, what will Serbia win from joining? What will the EU gain from you being part of the EU?
I know thousands of things which we gonna gain joining the EU. And it's not only economy. Politically, I think that Serbia can get many things, can get long-term stability, safety and security as well, can guarantee to its people peace for many decades, which is of an utmost importance, and also observance and respect of basic democratic and human rights.
Portugal has joined a list of European countries in suspending most postal services to the US amid widespread uncertainty over the imposition of new import tariffs. The country's National Postal Service said it would be temporarily suspending services of goods to the US in mail products and international express parcels. The decision follows US President Donald Trump's move to end the duty-free entry of shipments valued at $800 or less. The White House said the decision aimed to combat illegal or abusive practices, such as the shipment of illicit drugs into the States. Postal services in Germany, Denmark, Sweden and Italy to the US were suspended over the weekend, with France, Austria and the United Kingdom following suit. The move is expected to have a significant impact on small and medium-sized European companies exporting lower-value goods to the States. It comes after the US and the European Union reached an agreement on trade last month, the details on which have yet to be finalised.
Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese accused Iran of organising at least 2 anti-Semitic attacks in Australia, and said his country would cut diplomatic ties with Tehran in response. According to Albanese, Iran directed arson attacks at a kosher food company in Sydney and a synagogue in Melbourne.
It's likely Iran directed further attacks as well. These were extraordinary and dangerous acts of aggression orchestrated by a foreign nation on Australian soil. They were attempts to undermine social cohesion and sow discord in our community. It is totally unacceptable, and the Australian government is taking strong and decisive action in response.
The Iranian ambassador to Australia, Ahmed Sadeghi, was expelled, and Australian diplomats to Iran were moved to a third country. Australians in Iran were urged to strongly consider leaving as soon as possible, if it is safe to do so. Albanese also said that the Australian government would legislate to designate the Iranian Revolutionary Guard as a terrorist organisation.
French Prime Minister François Bayrou has called for a confidence vote in France's National Assembly on the 8th of September. Bayrou said he announced the confidence vote to gauge whether other parties are prepared to back his minority government's plan to cut almost 44 billion euros from the national budget. He stressed that the country is going through a, quote, moment of hesitation and turmoil that needs clarification.
Notre pays est en danger parce que nous sommes au bord du surendettement. Sur les 2 dernières décennies, malgré la succession de gouvernements de tendances différentes, la dette de notre pays s'est accrue de 2 000 milliards d'euros.
Bayrou's minority government is set to collapse if he loses the vote. The far-right National Rally, the Greens and the Socialist Party have already announced they would not back him. The vote comes just a few months after former Prime Minister Michel Barnier lost to a no-confidence vote in December 2024. The upcoming vote will take place just 2 days before planned protests, which have been called for on social media and backed by leftist parties and some unions.
Elon Musk targeted Apple and OpenAI in an antitrust lawsuit alleging that the iPhone maker and ChatGPT creator are teaming up to thwart competition in artificial intelligence. Musk accused Apple of unfairly favouring OpenAI and ChatGPT in the iPhone's App Store rankings, rigging the system against competitors such as the Grok chatbot made by his own XAI. The complaint portrays Apple as a company that views AI as an existential threat to its future success, prompting it to collude with OpenAI to protect the iPhone franchise. The crux of the lawsuit revolves around Apple's decision to use ChatGPT as an AI-powered answer engine on the iPhone, when built-in technology can't satisfy user needs. Musk filed a different lawsuit last year that alleged OpenAI had betrayed its founding mission to serve as a non-profit research lab for the public good. OpenAI countered with a lawsuit against Musk, accusing him of harassment, an allegation the company cited in its response to its antitrust lawsuit.
No,